Welcome back, everybody. This is officially session 2 of day 1 of the British Summer Championships 2023 here in Ponds Forge, Sheffield. I'm Liz Johnson. I will be taking you through this morning's action. This is what day 1 looked like. We've had the men's 1500 metres freestyle heats, and now we move on to the women's 1500 metres freestyle heats. They are heat declared winner, so there will be no finals. I will continually remind you of that for people joining midway through. It means that one chance to put your time down at this meet at today, this morning, to be considered for your rankings and a medal. As there was a break in the session, it meant the officials did leave poolside for the warm-up to commence, so the officials are just preparing to return to poolside, and then we will get the action underway. As was with the men's event, there will be 9 heats of this women's 1500 metres freestyle. They are done on time, not age group, so when all the races have been swum, all the heats have been swum, the results will be separated, collated correctly, and then our medalists will be announced. Update from the venue is that the first race will commence at 12:05. So if you want to go get yourself a snack or a cup of tea, now is the time. You have time. The first race will take to the blocks at 12:05.
After which we'll have 5 sets of medal presentations. As you can see, our officials just go back onto poolside. We're always very grateful for our officials. A very fast turnaround between the heats this morning and this afternoon. So not much time to go away and grab some quick refreshments.
the athletes for the first heat of this women's 1500 meters freestyle. It is heat declared winner. That means that there will be no finals, and the times that are posted here this morning, this afternoon, now that we're after 12, will be the times that are considered for positions, for rankings, results and medals.
So, heat number 1. Event 1 and 2, the women's 1500 meter freestyle.
So the first heat is underway in this women's 1500 meters freestyle. In lane 1, it's Amelia Gerard of Warrington Warriors. In lane 2, Evelyn Hallisey, Newcastle Swim Team. In lane 3, Poppy Jeffrey, Killer Whales Swim Club in Havering. In lane 4, it's Jasmine Hall, Basildon Phoenix. In lane 5, Lily Fornizer, Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. In lane 6, Katie Wunn, Camden Swiss Cottage. And in lane 7, Mia Bowler of Nuneaton and Bedworth. There are 5 age groups within this competition. Within this heat here, though, we only have 2 age groups. So the first age group is 13 to 14 combined, and then the second age group is 15 years old. So Amelia Gerard, Evelyn Hallisey, Jasmine Hall, Katie Wunn and Mia Bowler are competing against each other in that 13 to 14 age category, and then Poppy Jeffrey and Lilia Fornasia are competing against each other in the 15 years category. And at the moment, in those centre lanes, going very well in the yellow lane lines, it is Jasmine Hall and Lilia Fornasia. To mention, Jasmine Hall swimming in the 13-14 category. Not only is she swimming in the 13-14 category, she is one of 2 13-year-olds that we have in this competition, in this event. We'll see the next one in the next heat. Jasmine Hall currently second on the rankings in her age group, behind Darcy Smith, who we will see go in that heat number 2. But it is the youngster in that orange hat leading the way through the first 200 metres. Jasmine Hall turning there 2:17.49 ahead of Lilia Fornasia, 2:18.36, and third position down in lane 1 is Amelia Gerard of Warrington Warriors. 1500 metres, 30 lengths of the pool, 4 have been completed, so still a long way to go here in Ponds Forge. But it's about these athletes settling into their own race, their own pace. They'll have a plan, sticking to it, not getting too sucked in to someone else's race plan. As we see Jasmine Hall still going well, still leading the way. The 13-year-old from Basildon. There now you're seeing the battle closer to the bottom end of the pool. That is Amelia Gerard in that yellow heart of the Warrington Warriors. And 1 lane up from her, it's Evelyn Hallisey of Newcastle Swim Team. But over first it is Jasmine Hall, 3:29.13, 36.31 for that 50 metres. Fornasia over second, 3:31.36, through up to 36.62. And then behind is a bit of a blanket, 3 swimmers in a row. So that is Gerard and Hallisey. But also then is Katie Wunn of Camden Swiss Cottage in that blanket. And as I say that, that blanket dispersed a little bit as KT1 tried to break away from the other two swimmers. Jasmine Hall looking very strong, though. She's being chased. And there we see Fornasia in that cap of Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. KT1 to the right of her, 1 lane up in that white hat of Camden Swiss Cottage. She's in a battle with Evelyn Hallisey down in lane 2. As we'll see through these 1500 meters heats, it's really about, if you're not at the front, it's about just pipping people off as you go. We've seen in the men's events this morning, we saw a lot of people work their way through the field. It's not about getting too excited too early if that's not the way you typically race. There we can see that hat of Evelyn Hallisey, Newcastle swim team. Currently sat just in 4th position behind KT1, Camden Swiss Cottage. Well, Jasmine Hall coming through to complete the first 500 meters, 5:54.77. Her split there for that 50 meters, a time of 36.13. It's the fastest split in the field, as you would expect. These 4 athletes in shot now, though, trying to break away from the chasing pack. The line behind them across the pool, but not so much at the front. At the front, there is that spearhead that we see so often in swimming. So athletes are assigned lanes based on their entry times, with the fastest athletes being in the center lanes. Those yellow lanes mark those center lanes, and then distributed alternately across the pool until all 10 lanes with a full heat have been occupied. Well, there's no question about who's leading at this stage. It is Jasmine Hall, but the bunch behind is squeezing up a little bit. Lilia Fornasia still holding on to that 2nd position, but there's not much between KT1 and Poppy Jeffrey and Evelyn Hallisey now. Poppy Jeffrey will be looking to try and get back into contention. She is that. There's that gap in that lane. That's Poppy Jeffrey's lane. So we've seen already in the men's events people clawing their way back when they were in that position. So it could lead her to a strong time. But the orange hat of Jasmine Hall has a commanding lead. She's attacked this from the start. She's going very well there. Like I said, one of only 2 13-year-olds in this event here today. Only 5 seconds separating her and Darcy Smith, who we will see in the 2nd heat. On the rankings, I say only 5 seconds because at that age and over this distance, that can be eaten up pretty quickly. So she'll be looking to put down a marker for Darcy Smith to chase. This is that battle going on behind, and now we can see Fornasia has got company. Hallisey has moved up to be shoulder to shoulder, bar the 2 lanes in the middle, with Fornasia. With KT1 still hanging on, she's breathing towards the feet of Fornasia at the moment. 8:59 flat for Jasmine Hall as she goes over. 36.12 again as a 50 split. Evelyn Hallisey there, 36.61 for her. The only other swimmer to split sub 37 seconds. There you can see Fornasia with a body length lead over Katie Woon at this stage. Whereas as we come into the turn, we'll see that Hallisey seems to have broken away, might be too strong a phrase, but she's definitely put some space between her and Fornasia. She'll look to consolidate that now. But Fornasia breathing towards Hallisey, they're breathing towards each other. So Fornasia will be aware. She had a quick look. She'll be able to see Hallisey's feet. And there you can see that body length and a little bit of comfort. But as we've seen already today, that isn't necessarily enough of a comfort buffer over the duration of the 1,500 meters. Your race leader, Jasmine Hall. She's got another year in this age group. So, as I said, there are 5 age groups, 13 to 14, then 15 years, 16 years, 17 years, and 18 plus, often known as open. And so, as Jasmine Hall isn't 13, she'll get 1 more year in the swimming in this age group before she moves up. So, strong performance from her. Good experience. She really is out on her own. There's a gap. It's not enormous, it's pretty big. It's not enormous. We have seen these gaps being eaten up. If someone ends up feeling the pain of their early pace, and people chasing have got lots left in the tank, but it's unlikely that Jasmine Hall will completely blow up to the point where she would lose significantly like this. Hallisey's got a chance, but there's a fair bit gap now between Hallisey and the chasing pack. I say chasing pack, there's 2 of them really, Katie Woon and Lilia Fornasia. Hallisey could, it's not unquestionable to catch Jasmine Hall. Jasmine Hall swimming her own race there. We'll take a look at the splits as they come to the turn. Fornasia, there we can see that battle keeps changing, the gap keeps changing. Fornasia now little more than a body length ahead of Katie Woon. As we see Jasmine Hall turn 12:38.84. She's dipped into the 37.05. She's just over that 37 mark for her 50 split, whereas Evelyn Hallisey 36.35. So she is on a charge. She does sense that now might be her opportunity. The question will be, will Jasmine Hall respond? So that gap is getting smaller. As Jasmine Hall goes over, she did respond. 36.27 for her there to Hallisey's 36.54. So that was a significant jump up there, back to the pace she was setting early on. Jasmine Hall did sense the danger. There we can see those red lane lines, the red zone signifying 5 meters to a turn. Jasmine Hall back in the sub 37s, 36.60. Halsey 36.50, so marginally quicker down that 50, but there's a pretty big gap, so it needs to be a little more than 7/100ths per 50 if Halsey wants to catch Jasmine Hall. This is the race at the front of the field. 6 lengths to go, 300 meters, so it is possible. And there you can see Fornesia has opened up that gap. KT1 halfway down that length did look like she had made up some ground, but now Leo Fornesia is gone to her legs, as is KT1, but she's looking to consolidate that 3rd position in this heat. Jasmine Hall 36.2 again, very consistent from her. Evelyn Halsey 36.5, consistent from Halsey as well. So both athletes swimming very well here, well paced 1500 meters. It did look at one point like Halsey was making a move, but Hall responded with maturity as they come into the wall now for 200 meters to go. And we got a glimpse of Poppy Jeffrey going past the other direction, and she is definitely closing the gap from her to KT1, but the question will be, has she got enough pool left? Fornesia, looks to have dropped KT1 now. KT1 working very hard, just out of shot. They'll come into shot in just a second. There they are, Fornesia, followed by KT1. KT1 working very hard not to let Fornesia get away. But the gap does seem like it might have put Fornesia in safety. But there, as mentioned, comes Poppy Jeffrey on the charge. Very understated charge, but she's clawing her way back. As the bell goes for the first time in this session to signal that there is 100 meters left to go for Jasmine Hall. That's 2 lengths of this pool here in Ponds Forge left at the end of this 1500 meters. Now the bell goes. We can see the swimmers for the next heat lining up. Is heat declared winner, remember? So no finals. This is the final though, effectively, because your time here counts for the results, for the positions. As Jasmine Hall goes over 36.09 that 50, 17:29.83, 36.28 for Halsey, 17:35.54 for her, and Hall entering the final 25 meters of the race. She has led from start to finish as she goes through those 15-meter markers, puts her head down, heads for home, led all the way. The clock stops 18:04.38, finishing with a 34.55 50 meters, with Halsey coming in 18:10.89. Phenomenal swims from both of those swimmers there, as we see now. Fornesia did enough. She held on for that 3rd position. Just inside her entry time. And now we see Amelia Gerard swimming in lane 1, the yellow hat of Warrington Warriors. Saw a few of her teammates in the men's equivalent event this morning. And that rounds out the event, as there was no Mia Bola in lane 7. So on to heat number 2. We'll run through the swimmers when they've entered the water. All swimmers away safely and all 10 lanes of this one occupied. This is heat 2 of 9 in the women's 1500 metres freestyle. In lane 0, we have Edie Price of Mount Kelly swimming. In lane 1, it's Megan Rickles of Winsford Swimming Club. In lane 2, Constance Naranjo, Barnet Copthall. In lane 3, Jemima Saul, Portsmouth North Sea. In lane 4, Shay Stewart, Nova Centurion. In lane 5, Rachel Webb, Bassett Law Swim Squad. In lane 6, Darcy Smith, Portsmouth North Sea. In lane 7, Elizabeth Land, Newcastle Swim Team. In lane 8, it's Veronica Milashka of City of Peterborough. And in lane 9, it's Francesca Harrison of City of Leicester. So Mikola Jeska goes for City of Peterborough in lane 8. In that blue hat, just leading the way ahead of Francesca Harrison. City of Leicester towards the back end of this field, but at the moment the field not too spread out. There she is. There they are. They look like they're going to settle into a battle of their own as we turn our attentions to the middle of the pool as we go on that wider angle. See, there it is. We can see everybody unfolding, settle into their rhythm, establish their authority on the race without getting sucked in. I can't say it enough on these distance freestyle events, without getting sucked into someone else's pace, because you don't win a distance event like this on the first couple of 100 meters, but you definitely can lose it. And so the key is to not get too excited, not let that adrenaline, whether it be from nerves, excitement, get too much the better of you, so that you're not feeling the pain right at the end of the race and you can settle in to decent pacing, decent rhythm. As we come into this first 200 meters completion, we see that our race leader is Rachel Webb of Bassett Law Swim Squad. 2:15.89 for her, ahead of Darcy Smith. 2:16.58, and Shay Stewart also going well for Nova Centurion, as is Elizabeth Land of Newcastle Swim Team. One lane down from Shay Stewart is Jemima Saul. She's going well as well. So these 5 swimmers look to be trying to break away, but right down the bottom of the pool, Edie Price, Mount Kelly in lane 0. We've seen some good swims this morning from the outside lanes, but the action at the moment, there it is. The 2 Portsmouth North Sea swimmers bookending that foursome that look to the centre yellow lane lines. We talked about the age groups. Once again, I mentioned Darcy Smith while we were watching that first heat, because she is the only other swimmer born in 2010 in this event. We saw Jasmine Hall take out that first heat. Darcy Smith also in that 13-year age group, so she will get another year in this age group, because this is a 13-14 combined. That's Darcy Smith at the top of your shot in that Portsmouth North Sea hat, not to be confused with the one at the bottom of your shot from Jemima Saul. At the moment it is Darcy Smith leading the way, 4:03.77, 35.90 She held there. Jemima Saul, 35.99. The only two athletes to swim sub 60 on that 50-meter lap. Darcy Smith once again 35.9. Could set your watch by her at the moment. Very consistent, looking strong. Not such the gap or the commanding lead that Jasmine Hall had in the previous heat, but that is because obviously this heat is full of athletes with quicker entry times. As we see Smith now coming into turn, 36.2 that time, exactly the same time of that 50 as Shea Stewart. Both went 36.20, holding the same pace there. And it is the two Portsmouth North Sea swimmers that at the moment have the lead. Smith with the lead, and then Swole with a slender advantage over Shea Stewart. Nova Centurion, that black hat, one lane up from her. So as we look at those four lanes, Nova Centurion athlete one up from the bottom of that pack of four. Good turn from her there. Stewart got off the wall well, ate into that advantage. Stewart 35.55 for her on that 50, so you can see that's where she's made inroads into that the lead that Saul had over her. Smith at the top of the shot, still leading the way. That's at low swim squads. Rachel Webb not wanting to be dropped either, so trying to stay with the pack. Nice battle here. They are chasing the leader, Darcy Smith, who's out of shot at the moment. That's okay, we know where she is. There she is. Shaw seems to be making gains. Here she gets onto the feet of Darcy Smith. Darcy Smith still over first, 7:04.97, but 50 split was 36.4. Stewart 35.76. So she is making gains. Shaw definitely looks like she is trying to break away from one Portsmouth North Sea swimmer and go keep the other one company. And that's what's happening right there. As we can see, Jemima Saul now currently in third position. As Smith goes over first, 7:41.24. But Stewart just behind, 7:41.81. 35.95 the split for Shaw. 36.27 split for Smith. Smith breathing towards Shaw, Shaw breathing towards Smith, so they can see each other as they come down into this next turn. 16 laps to go, signalled by the boards that are being held in by the officials. Smith with the better turn that time. And the better split, 35.84 to 35.93 for these two women out in front. So as we saw in that first heat, they might be young. Jasmine Hall, again, youngster, but did respond to the challenge. Smith doesn't quite have the buffer that we saw Jasmine Hall have in that first heat. But as she goes over now, we'll look at the splits. 36.47 for Darcy Smith, 36.32 for Shea Stewart. So really not much in it at all. Darcy Smith won her entry time of 18:17.48 in Swansea back in March. So she'll be confident that she has got more time to drop here. Having been through a full cycle and a taper. And there we see she has a slender lead. 36.13, Darcy Smith went for that 50 to 36.22 for Shea Stewart. So not much in it, but enough. Just got to keep edging away, chipping away. And over 1,500 meters, it soon adds up. Rachel Webb there to the left of your screen. She is in hot pursuit of Jemima Saul. Those positions not changed for a while, but that doesn't mean that they can't. Darcy Smith now repping about 0.2 of a second quicker than Shea Stewart. We can tell because the gap is opening back up. But the two are pushing themselves to widen the gap between that third, fourth place battle. Got a lot more clear water now, as we see. Saul coming in, along with Rachel Webb to turn. Just over a second now is the advantage for Darcy Smith ahead of Shea Stewart. She's given herself a bit of breathing space, but there we see Jemima Saul and Rachel Webb going into the wall very much together. It was Saul that was around the wall more quickly. But again, as we've seen so much already here this morning in the men's events, when swimmers are breathing towards each other, they get that extra incentive to keep pushing on. Shea Stewart not letting up, trying to stick with Darcy Smith. As I said, lots of different age groups in this one. So Darcy Smith is racing Elizabeth Land, Francesca Harrison and Edie Price down in lane 0. That is one battle that is going on. And then Mikkel Jeska, Saul, Naranjo and Rickles, they're in a battle, a direct battle with each other. And then Shea Stewart, she is in the 17-year age group, so she's not swimming directly against Darcy Smith here in terms of positions for medals in age group category, but she will very much want to try and get the win. Darcy Smith now over. She goes. 36.57. Darcy Smith reps now on that 50. 36.47 for Shea Stewart. So a slither quicker for Stewart. And as we behind these two athletes that we've been so focused on because they have had a dominating battle at the front and a lead. Rachel Webb will come into shot in just a second. There she is. She has overhauled Jemima Saul. But again, no, these swimmers aren't all racing each other in age group categories. It is for time. The results will be organised at the end of all 9 heats, and then you will be presented with your medalists. and the results will be available online. Not only is Rachel Webb caught up with Jemima Saul, we can see there she is overhauled and opened up a nice lead as we see our race leaders go by in the other direction. Darcy Smith 14.19 to Shea Stewart's 14.21. So that gap is increasing now. We can see that from the pictures. A little over a body length. Ahead is Darcy Smith from Shea Stewart. That challenge in the middle of this 1500 meters, it did look like it could get a bit spicy, but Smith has responded well as they come round. And there is Shea Stewart. We open up, yeah, Smith looking very strong. So 200 meters to go for our race leaders. 36.25 for Darcy Smith, 36.04 for Stewart. So Stewart hasn't given up yet. You can see she's gone to her feet. She's kicking that white water coming off the back of her feet, signaling that she is moving more water now. In the early stages of the 1500 meters, we quite often see the legs trailing, as is the case there. You can see up in lane 6 from Darcy Smith. And now she kicks a little bit off the wall. Some swimmers choosing to maintain that, others will settle back into a rhythm. It's always nice to know that you've got your feet to go to propel you home down those final stages, because when they come to the scoreboard end this time, they will hear the bell. These two athletes hear the bell, signal 100 meters to go. There it is, right on cue, as Darcy Smith flips over and heads. And there you can see that leg kick coming in. She's looked strong the whole way through this. Shea Stewart holding on to that leg kick. Darcy Smith laying off for a little bit, going to it every now and again just for a little burst of speed. As they come into the final turn for these two swimmers. And you can see the benefit of that leg kick, 35.3 for Darcy Smith. Shea Stewart 35.8. As there we see Rachel Webb going past in the other direction, as is Elizabeth Land. But 25 meters to go here for Darcy Smith. It's been impressive performances from the two 13-year-olds that we have seen. Heat 1 and now in Heat 2, and Darcy Smith will touch first in this one. 17:54.07. Well under that 18-minute mark. As we see now Rachel Webb coming in to finish in 3rd position, and a strong finish for her. As we see in lane 1, Mega Rickles just turning. She's just heard the bell. She'll go off on her final 100 meters, just as Edie Price was coming in to finish. Strong finish for her for 4th position in this one. This is Heat 2 of 9, so still a long way to go before the results shake themselves out. But strong swimming there from Darcy Smith and Shea Stewart to both get under that 18-minute mark. Shea Stewart was The quickest last 50 there, 34.20. Darcy Smith and Jemima Saul both dipping under 35 seconds for that last 50 as well. As we just turn our attentions now to Winsford Swimming Club's Megan Rickles as she completes her 1500 metres here in Ponds Forge to round out heat number 2. As we see the swimmers lined up to begin heat number 3. As a reminder, there is this heat declared winner, which is why you're seeing swimmers straight up and lined up, ready to go, not being announced individually before these events. So away goes heat number 3. In lane 0, Rihanna Foster, Kingston upon Hull. In lane 1, Isabel Hitchmock, Warrington Warriors. In lane 2, it's Esme Stockley, Mount Kelly Swimming. In lane 3, Katie Sherlock, Mount Kelly Swimming. In lane 4, Rebecca Coogan, Romford Town. In lane 5, Lucia Lopez, City of Milton Keynes. In lane 6, Abigail Smiley, Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. In lane 7, Clara Guinness goes for Tiger Swim Club of Jersey. In lane 8, it's Isla Ince of Minfield School. And in lane 9, Evie Mackey of Lanark. So 4 age groups represented in this one, so 4 battles within a battle. But again, heat declared winner means that everybody is going to post their best time here this morning. That's what they're trying to do, to be considered for postings on the results, to be ranked, to potentially get medals. Bit of a spread across the pool in these early stages. Over first it is Rebecca Coogan of Romford Town, 140.82 for her, ahead of Isabel Hitchmoff, 140.95. 2 yellow hats, 2 different swimming clubs. Romford Town and Warrington Warriors. One lane up from Coogan, it is Lucia Lopez, Milton Keynes, so we can see that in that green suit there. But going well at the bottom of the shot, it is Isabel Hitchmoff, Warrington Warriors. She does take the lead, 2:16.50 to open up that 200 meters. Seen some good swims from some of her male club mates in session number 1. But all keeping each other company. There it is. Lopez still going well, along with Abigail Smiley. Said still nothing in it at this stage, still quite bunched together for the early stages of a 1500 meters. This is heat number 3 of 9. Still led by the yellow hats. Around the wall first, just it is Isabel Hitchmoff, 3:28.18 for her. The quickest split there coming from Rebecca Coogan, Romford Town. 35 these two swimmers in a bit of a battle. But Lopez not letting them get too far away, and now going well at the top of the shot as well is Evie Mackey. The outside lanes, last lane number 9 right up there. But if you've got a lane, you've got a chance. So, and we've seen that. We saw some winners in the men's event of heats from outside lanes. And there she is, Evie Mackey. A strong 100 meters here to bring her back into contention as we see that line forming across the pool with a few dips as we go. Rebecca Coogan trying to hold on, trying not to let Isabel Hitchmuth get away. And it is Coogan. Even though Hitchmuth went into the wall first, Coogan was around the wall more quickly. Took the speed in. Her split was 35.95 to Hitchmuth's 36.26. Lopez dipped under the 36-second mark for her split there too. So it's definitely a signal of intent coming from these lanes. But Evie Mackey still going well at the top there. Makes it interesting when the race is across the pool. As Coogan goes over first. Lopez getting the touch for second on the board. So that move has happened. The question is now, will those two swimmers in those center lanes carry each other through and away from the outer chasers? They'll have to work harder because they're out there in isolation, but still possible. And actually now Lopez coming through strongly. She gets the touch there on that turn. 5:53 flat, 35.82 her split. Only swimmer there to go sub 36 seconds on that 50 meters, and you can tell she's opened up a very slender lead from Rebecca Coogan of Rumford Town. Lopez there turning for 29.11, 36.1 was her split. Coogan 6:29.92 for 36.5. Up there at the top, Evie Mackey, you can just see her. There she is. She managed to turn in third position. And then 2 line. So yes, so they're going well. The race is, as expected, still all over the pool. Lopez looks like she's trying to make her move. Lopez now with the body length leaders. Mackey there in your shot. She's come up in line with Coogan in that center. Also going very well is Clara Guinness of Tigers Swim Club from Jersey. That yellow hat. We saw her teammate Sam Sterry swim very well in the men's event earlier today. Took a gold medal in his age group category. But Lopez, she's looking to hold on to that lead that she's opened up. We often see swimmers make their move, take the burst, but then the key is to be able to consolidate that and hold on. And we can see there from the way that that shot's panning out, Evie Mackey is slowly chipping away. We'll take a look at these splits now as we come into this turn. 36.46 Lopez put out there, 36.24 for Mackey. Guinness on the charge as well, 36.36. So everybody has upped the pace, but they've all upped it more or less together. So they are taking each other with them. Key now is for Rebecca Coogan to hold on and hope that that early pace holds for her. go over now. Lopez still in the lead, but it is Mackie that is posting quick times there. She dipped under the she went sub 36 for that 50, 35.97 for the swimmer from Lanark. And you can see there from that shot that Mackie is coming up in line with Lopez. Lopez breathing away from Mackie, so she may not have seen danger there. She took a breath, just as I said that, to the other side to check. There it is, as they go over together, and it is Mackie that heads in front. 9:31.65 for her, 9:31.87 for Lucia Lopez. And Mackie hits the front of the field from up there in lane number 9. They are over the halfway point. It's metaphorically downhill from here, but it doesn't always feel like that in these distance events. Clara Guinness going very, very well. Just chugging away, like I've said this earlier today already. The key is, with the 1500 meters, not to get caught up to going out too fast, stick to your pace, and then gradually just chip away, swimmer by swimmer, to head your way through the field and ultimately try to hit the front of the pack. Evie Mackie over in 10:44.03, another 36.2 for her. Clara Guinness and Lucia Lopez all under sub 37 for that 50. So they're holding strong, but it is Mackie that's lapping quickest at the moment, and we can see that from the advantage that she is building. .04 there for Mackie for that 50, even quicker. She's obviously feeling good. Clara Guinness can sense Lopez close to her. 36.4 for Guinness that time, 36.9 for Lopez. The race definitely is now in that top half of the pool. It looks like Rebecca Coogan has settled in to her own swim. Down at the bottom of the pool. Got that full angle there, we should see in a second. There she is, Rihanna Foster, Kingston upon Hull, bottom of the picture in lane 0. Just going over there. 12:02.16 for her. She's repping 36.55 there. So if you can get yourself, in this heat, if you can get yourself into the 36-second 50s, then that looks to be where you are making the progress. Clara Guinness now overhauled Lucia Lopez. Evie Mackie 35.94. She's feeling really good here, looking really good, swimming very well. Clara Guinness 36.21. Lopez there 37.04. So whereas Foster down at the bottom, we saw her going into that last 100 turn. She's chipping away, 36.5 for her 50s too. So like I said, that 36-second pace in this one, definitely where you want to try and be. As Mackie goes over 13:08.23, 36.02, still the quickest split of anyone on that 50 so far. She's looking comfortable, she's looking strong. Clara Guinness though holding those 36 mids, 36.3 for her. And as we now we can see that Rihanna Foster benefiting from the consistency of her 36 points that she's been putting in the latter half of this 1500 meters, as she's chipping away as well. Going over just behind Lucia Lopez there, just half a second, just over half a second. And it's 0.6 of a second there for the difference between Lopez, that's her slim advantage over Foster. This battle here is between Rebecca Coogan and Katie Sherlock. Again, different age groups in this one. So not racing each other again in age groups. Coogan in the 15-year age group, whereas Sherlock is in the 17-year age group. But still, good to have people to race next to you. Here is our race leader, Evie Mackey. She made her move near the midway point, and it seemed to work for her because she's consolidated that and she's comfortable at the top of that shot, lane 9. Clara Guinness has swum a brilliant race as well, paced it very well. Still in those 36s, 36.5 for her. Rihanna Foster, 36.7. Lucia Lopez now dropped down to 38.3. So that's where that advantage for Rihanna Foster has come from. The swimmer from Kingston upon Hull, down in lane 0. She has moved into that 3rd position in this heat as Mackey goes over once again at the 100-meter turn end. 36.21, still holding there. Clara Guinness still holding those 36 mids, 36.57 for her. And Rihanna Foster, 36.42. Guinness with a sizable advantage over third position, but 200 meters left to go. Should feel safe, but we've seen stranger things happen. Difficult to see past Evie Mackey though here. She's had a brilliant race. 36.19 for Clara Guinness. She's up the pace, dropped 0.4 of a second. As we come in to what will be their final 100 meters. The board is out saying 2. The bell is ringing, signaling 2 lengths to go. That's 100 meters. The race has been at the top of the pool for the majority of this second half of this heat. Rihanna Foster now safely in that 3rd position, 36.28 for her again. She definitely built through that and held those good 36 lows for that second half of this 1500 meters, and it's helped tremendously as she's opened up that gap and solidified that 3rd position. There you see Clara Guinness. She's going for time. She's going to be safe in that 2nd position, I believe. She's not going to catch this lady, Evie Mackey. She goes strong. Look at that leg kick, bringing her home 15 meters, just past that marker there. She comes in and under the flags as we see Esme Stotley getting her bell, which means that she's got 100 meters to go. So she's off on the final 2 lengths as we see our finisher, Evie Mackey, 17:54.19 for her, dipping under that 18-minute mark, just missing that 18-minute mark. 18:01.24 is Clara Guinness, but her entry time 18:10, so she should be happy with that. As we see the swimmers coming in now. Isla Ince coming to finish in lane 8 from Millfield School. And there, our final swimmer that will round out this heat number 3 will be Esme Stotley. She swims in the 16 years age group. Those markers, 15 meters to go for Esme. And that concludes heat number 3 as heat number 4 line up and get ready to go.
Next race, heat number 4, women's 1500 meter freestyle.
That was your start list for heat number 4. We'll run through those swimmers just as soon as they have their start signal. So in lane 0 is Adius Salaku, Derby Excel. In lane 1, it's Jessica Cater, Nova Centurion. In lane 2, Lauren Lilly, City of Leeds. In lane 3, Matilda Potter, City of Leeds. In lane 4, Peyton Chesters, Warrington Warriors. In lane 5, Amelie Shaw, Guildford City. In lane 6, Susie McNair, Stirling Swimming. In lane 7, Sophie Dowding, Team Ipswich Swimming. In lane 8, Emily Toms, Crawley. In lane 9, Sedona Reid, City of Leeds. Busy race for City of Leeds here. All those yellow hats with the shark. As all swimmers pretty much in a blanket down this first 100 meters. Nobody giving it too much away. It was Emily Toms of Crawley that got her feet to the boards first. 106.07 for her, just ahead of Sedona Reid, who looked like she was going into the wall first. The swimmer there in lane 9 at the top of your picture. But it is Crawley's Emily Toms in that blue swimming hat, one lane closer to us from the top, that is trying to forge an early lead down this first 150 meters. There is that early battle that we've seen. We've seen a lot of battles today. It does help if you are next to someone that can push you to a good time. But again, the top half of the pool, looking where the action is at the moment. We come into the first 200 meter turn, and it is Emily Toms over first, 2:16.83 off Crawley, then Sedona Reid, City of Leeds, 2:17.05. And Susie McNair in lane 6, over in third position. They are starting. Breakaway would probably not be the right term, but they're starting to put some water between them and the rest of the field. Over first again, it is Toms, still Reid in second, still McNair in third as expected, and then Potter and Chesters are in lanes 3 and 4 are in a bit of a battle. The best of the rest at the moment, but nothing really to choose between those 3 yellow hats that we'll see. They see that first one there, those 3 yellow hats in lanes 2, 3 and 4. 2 belong to Leeds and 1 belongs to Warrington Warriors. That Warrington Warriors hat is Peyton Chesters in lane 4, so in the yellow lay lines, the 2 lead swimmers closer to us on the screen there. As we open up that shot, we also see Amelie Shaw of Guildford City. 3 front runners now all pretty much in a line, just with Toms going into the wall first, getting her feet to the wall first. 36 flat was her 50 split there. 36.05 was Sedona Reed. Actually, they were the other way around. So Sedona Reed's 36 flat. Tom's 36.05. So they really are on pace together. Susie McNair, though, now right up, shoulder to shoulder, joining that pack. Wants to be part of that battle. Who's going to get the honours at this turn? It is Reed. Reed gets her feet to the wall for 6/100ths ahead of Emily Toms. Dipped under 36 seconds. 35.95 for Reed. 35.96 for Susie McNair. So not much to choose between these swimmers at the moment. Just over the 36-second mark was Emily Toms. Behind now, as we open up, we can see in lane number 3, Matilda Potter of City of Leeds, forging ahead in what was that battle of the 3 yellow hats. She's 4th. Adia Soaku going well in lane 0. There's danger everywhere over this pool, yet nobody would be safe to say that their position as it stands is where they will finish, which makes it exciting, pushes people onto some good times. Susie McNair now taking the lead. She just put in a lap of 35.81 to go over first ahead of Sedona Reed. And Emily Toms, our early race leader, currently in 3rd position. But that move is being made from Matilda Potter. She's trying to get back in line with our early pack. She's trying to forge the gap, join the pack. And she looks to have successfully done that as she edges up in line with Emily Toms, surpasses her to get her feet to the wall first. 35.87 the split there, that 50 metres from Potter, compared to the 36.66 of Toms. McNair going well here though for Sterling. The white hat out in front. She comes under the flags. Another turn. McNair leading the way. 7:03.80. 35.82 for her, that 50. Matilda Potter, the only other swimmer under 36 seconds for that 50 metres. 35.95 for her to turn in 3rd position. Just behind her teammate Sedona Reed, but they are neck and neck across the pool, so you can't really tell, but they are very, very close together indeed in terms of time. Very different strokes there. You can see Reed got quite a high stroke rate than Susan McNair in the middle. Long, slightly slower stroke rate. Looking very relaxed indeed is McNair there at the front, but you can see that stroke there from Sedona Reed. Working well, she's consistent, working hard, holding on to that 2nd position at the moment, but feeling the pressure from her teammate Potter. The key now is for Emily Toms to hold on to that battle and not let it get too far away from her, because there's more danger from another Leeds hat in the form of Lauren Lilly. So the Leeds pack, Leeds Massive, making their move. Here you can see it opening up. It's starting to spread out a little more, but there's still plenty of action to be seen as we go into that turn. No doubt who's in the lead at the moment, McNair, but now Potter has overtaken her teammate Reed up there at the top of the picture. Different age groups. Potter swimming in the 15 years age group. Reed in the 16 years age group. Emily Toms in the 17 years age group. But Susie McNair also in that 16 years age group and leading the way at the moment. McNair over time 9:27.02, still repping 35.84 that one. Matilda Potter 36.06 was her 50, and Sedona Reed 36.52. Now we can see that is Susie McNair leading the way, but behind her there is some action unfolding. It's difficult to capture everything in one go here because the swimmers are starting to spread out quite significantly. McNair over in lane 6 first, Potter, then Reed, then look at this battle going on behind. Emily Toms, who led the way for those early stages, now being overhauled by Lauren Lilly and Adia Solaku, the swimmer from Derby Excel down in lane 0. We've seen some good swims from these outside lanes of 0 and 9, and we're only in session 2, so that bodes well for the excitement that we're going to see this week. McNair over Potter now 36.12. McNair still wrapping sub 36 seconds, 35.71 for her, so her lead is growing. She's the only athlete to be going sub 36 on these 50s at the moment. Here we can see that battle. Lane 0's Solaku just edging ever closer to Lauren Lilly of Leeds. Back with our race leader McNair as we see Sophie Dowding go the opposite direction. That big red marker in the middle means she's in the middle of the pool. McNair 25. That's the 25-meter mark. Potter's got a solid second position here in this heat now. She worked hard. It's paid off. 35.94 for Susie McNair, still under that 36-second mark for 50s, going really well. Matilda Potter 36.15. Those two swimmers definitely producing quicker 50-meter splits at the moment than anyone else in the race. There with a very balanced, comfortable stroke. Looks in a commanding position. Potter second, Reed still third. 36.14 was Potter's split. She's very consistent through these 50s. She's been rewarded for that consistency. McNair over she goes, 35.87 that one, that 50 meters. Matilda Potter 35.98, so Potter's picked up the pace. 36.38 was Sedona Reed's times. There's Susie McNair looking really comfortable, knows exactly what she's doing. Great long stroke. Stroke hasn't shortened at all. Settled. When she hit the pack, when she hit the front of the pack, there was no looking back. She didn't panic in those early stages. Got to swim your own race. There we see Sedona Reed. She had her share of the lead for a little bit as well. Now sitting in third position. behind her teammate, Matilda Potter. As we see another Peyton Chesters. She was in the race for a while. Just saw her there going the other way. That another yellow hat, the Warrington Warriors swimmer. There she is again. We caught a glimpse of her going in the background, but now there she turns to the far end of the pool, making her way back down to the scoreboard end. She had company for a while, but now she's swimming very much her own race. Matilda Potter goes over ahead of Sedona Reed. And then Lauren Lilly, the three lead swimmers over together. Lauren Lilly now regained that lead or that advantage over Adia Salaku. They had their own battle. That is Matilda Potter working very hard down these lengths. She goes over 15:31.53, second position. Almost a 5-second advantage over her teammate Sedona Reed for third position. There we see Emily Shaw of Guildford City. She was in that battle for a while. Going over there. Now it's very spread out. In that first couple of 100 meters, there wasn't much to separate anybody. Then we had that breakaway pack at the top end of the pool, and now there's swimmers everywhere. It's really spread out. But Susie McNair is the leader. Here we see, that was our early race leader there, Emily Toms. She's settled into her own race now. As Susie McNair gets the bell down the far end, she goes on to her final 100 meters. There she is, heading for home. It'll all start to sort itself out as we get there. Susie McNair going very well indeed. 35.49 was her last split, so stayed under those 36-second marks. And you can see there Peyton Chesters of Warrington Warriors. She's got another 150 meters to go. So Susie McNair coming now has got 50 meters to go. She is your race leader in that white swimming hat. It can get confusing on these longer events, but McNair heading for home. Serona Reed still in third position. Matilda Potter still in second position. 35.25 was Potter's 50 split. She's finishing strongly, but McNair, the consistency of her swim is going to be rewarded to take this heat, take the victory of this one in 17:43.89. As Matilda Potter comes in to finish for the City of Leeds, time of 17:53.46. McNair's final split there for that flash 50, 33.98. Finished very strongly. As Sedona Reed holds on to that third position, and Lauren Lilly fourth. So there's the three lead swimmers in. So Laku, who looked like she might look to break up that Leeds party at one point, coming in fifth position. As we wait now, there is our final swimmer, Peyton Chesters, the Warrington Warriors swimmer. Just coming up to 25 meters to go, and that will conclude heat number 4. The next heat will see us at our midway point of this session's action. Heat 5 of 9. Great swim from Susie McNair there to take that one. Entry time of 18 minutes. 17:43 for the win. This is the start list for heat number 5. We will see these women get underway and then we'll introduce them. So in lane 0, it's Evangeline Stacey, City of Leeds. In lane 1, Maisie Dickinson, Wickham District. In lane 2, Sophie Busby, the Royal Wolverhampton School. In lane 3, Kerry Henney, Warrington Warriors. In lane 4, Lucy Matthews, City of Coventry. In lane 5, Louise Bresler, Guildford City. In lane 6, Amy Kenworthy, Winsford Swimming. In lane 7, Sky Austin Burrows, Rushmore Royals. In lane 8, Georgia Dickey, Dumfries. In lane 9, Catherine Noble, Newcastle Swim Team. Once again, all swimmers are present. So we have lanes 0 to 9 occupied. In this 10-lane competition pool here in Ponsford, Sheffield. Down this first 100 metres. It is Lucy Matthews, City of Coventry, who's got off to the best start, 1:05.02 for her. But as we've seen so many times in these 1500 metres, both this morning and in this session, the first 100 metres does not always signal how the race is going to go. Just a reminder that it is heat declared winner, and therefore there will be no finals. The times that these swimmers post here in this session will be the ones that are recorded for the final results, and the medalists will be determined at the end of all heats, so there's 9 heats, and then they will be announced. They will be requested for ceremonies, and hopefully then we will bring you the ceremonies with all of the athletes on conclusion of the swimming action. So already, second 100, new race leader, Kerry Henney, Warrington Warriors. 2:15.32 for her. Her split was 34.86. The only swimmer there to go sub 35 seconds on that 50, which is what led to her hitting the front of the field. So Stacey, Dickinson, Austin Burrows and Dickey are racing each other in the 16 years age group. Busby, Bressler and Kenworthy are racing each other in the 17 years age group. And Henney, Matthews and Noble are racing each other in the 15 years age group. So combined age groups here, they will be separated for their medals. This is day 1 of the action. Another 6 days to go for everybody to get excited about. Heats will always start, well, first round of heats will always start at 8:30, first race. Finals will start at 5 p.m, but once again, no finals today. So this is the final session of today. And leading the way at the moment is Kerry Henney, Warrington Warriors. There she is, settled into her stroke. Coming under the flags, 5 meters to the turn. 4:01.55 for Henney at that turn. 35.75 was the split. Sophie Busby, 1 lane closer to us, had a great 50 there, 35.48. A few more swimmers dipping into that 35-second zone. It does seem to be those two swimmers at the moment that are forging ahead. They're taking the two swimmers closest to us with them. Right at the bottom of your screen in lane 0, City of Leeds is Evangeline Stacey. Just saw her club mates in the heat before her do very well. She'll want some of that action. She turns first, 4:37.41. So for the last few heats, we've seen the race the top of the screen, whereas here it seems to be unfolding at the bottom of the screen. However, there is still a long way to go. Stacey's over first, followed by Henny and Busby. So here we can see that race. Stacey going very well in the lane closest to us, but trying to make a move is Sophie Busby from the Royal Wolverhampton School. She had the fastest split there for that 50 metres of those 4 swimmers, with Stacey going 35.62. Busby going 35.55, so not much in it on 7/100ths, but as I keep saying and will continue to say, chipping away over a 1,500 metres can make a huge difference come the end of the race. Also going well now in lane 6 is Amy Kenworthy of Winsford Swimming Club. She wants in on the action from the down at the bottom end of the pool. Trying to get back on terms, trying to reel in. Kerry Henny will be the target that she's aiming for. And as I say that, there she is. And she's just coming up level with the yellow hat of Henny as we go into this turn. Not to be confused with that yellow hat in the lead of Evangeline Stacey from City of Leeds, down at the bottom of your picture in lane 0. Sophie Busby still going well, and now that 3rd position is occupied by Amy Kenworthy. The race is across the pool, but it's no major advantage. Stacey has held on to the lead for a while, but the gap is not big enough that she will be feeling comfortable just yet. 35.61 was Stacey's 50, 35.48 was Busby, so the time is getting eaten into slowly but surely. They're now in a line, but there is the lady who has put in a bit of a stormer over this last 150 metres, Amy Kenworthy. She has joined the pack. She's worked hard to get herself to the front of the field in that battle. 35.43 for Busby, but 35.2 for Amy Kenworthy to go with Evangeline Stacey's 35.94. So those 35s are what are taking these 3 ahead of the rest of the field. There isn't really a pack in this one. No one's really close together other than these 3 front runners. And it looks like Amy Kenworthy is going to hit the front. 35.12 she went there. 0.6 of a second ahead of Sophie Busby down that 50, as in she went 0.6 quicker for a 50 than Busby did, and 0.7 quicker than Stacey. So that's where the advantages come from. That's how she finds herself in this position. You can see her kicking quite strongly, but it's working for her at the moment. She's decided this is where she's going to go and try and break the rest of the field. 35.38 that time. Significantly quicker than 35.79 from Busby and 36.28. But also going fast down that 50 was Georgia Dickey of Dumfries in lane 8. She hit 35 point as well. So nobody resting on their laurels in this one. There she is. The second fastest split of that 50 went to the Dumfries swimmer, or the swimmer from Dumfries. Kenworthy is at the front. Now she's trying to put some clear water between her and the rest. She's working hard. It's paying off. She has opened up an advantage from the chasers. Those chasers are now Sophie Busby and Evangeline Stacey, but in a slightly different order. As Kenworthy goes over first, 10:32.06, 35.07 her split. That's the fastest split we've seen in the clean swimming part of the race so far. Busby in second position, Stacey in third position. Georgia Dickey making a move, trying to use that speed that she seems to have found to bridge the gap. But look at that. Look at how far Amy Kenworthy has managed to get ahead of the others from that burst that she's put in. 11:07.36. She's got just over a 3-second advantage from the rest. Stacey now back ahead of Busby, though those two in their own battle. Kenworthy trying to swim her own race. Busby and Stacey will hope that their battle will take them closer to Kenworthy, but it's Kenworthy in the 35.26 for that 50. She's almost a second quicker repping that time than the two chasing her. But Georgia Dickey still going on 35.48. She's still hot at the moment. She is making her move, trying to bridge the gap between her and Busby and Stacey to get back in the battle for second, third, fourth. .34 that 50 for Kenworthy as she goes over in 17.96. Stacey with a slender lead over Busby, and she got that because she put in a faster lap of 35.79. Dickey though a little bit quicker again, 35.67, so she is eating into that gap. We can see it there. The camera doesn't really do it justice. It looks bigger than it is at this stage. But no question about the leader, Amy Kenworthy. The 17-year-old from Winsford Swimming Club. She's really taken this race by the scruff of the neck. Started off a bit more slowly, but controlled her way through, and then when she hit the opportunity to power to the front, she took it. .35.52 for Amy Kenworthy, 35.57 Georgia Dickey, 35.96 for Stacey. They're the ones that are holding those sub 36-second 50 meters at the moment, and they know that's what's required. Nothing to choose between Busby and Stacey at the bottom of the pool. Dickey chasing from lane 8 to get back on terms, with the battle that's happening that we see there going into that turn and coming out. There is Georgia Dickey, Dumfries swimmer, 16 years old, making a conscious effort to try and get on terms with Sophie Busby and Evangeline Stacey. Difficult though, from up there. A lot of water separates them in terms of width to be able to see and get completely involved in that battle. Where there's also a lot of water is between Amy Kenworthy and everybody else from front to back. She really has taken this race on. As Kenworthy comes in, she'll have 200 meters to go after this turn. 4 lengths left. Now it looks to be Sophie Busby who is on top of that battle for the moment in the bottom of the pool. But we've seen that position change hands a number of times throughout this 1,300 meters that have been completed so far. Next time that lady there gets to the 100-meter end, she will hear the bell. Winsford Swimming Club's Amy Kenworthy has looked very, very strong indeed. She signalled her intent as we see her turn now with 150 meters to go. Still lapping the sub 36 seconds, 35.94 for Kenworthy there. 35.76 for Georgia Dickey, so she hasn't given up her charge just yet either. So they gradually all enter your frame now. Kenworthy gets the bell. All eyes on the battle behind for second, third, fourth. Question will come down to who's got the most left as they all hear the bell ring in to signal 2 laps to go on this one. Amy Kenworthy is away, but who's got the legs left? Who's got the sprint finish? Has anyone got the sprint finish in this 1,500 meters? No one else in that shot. Amy Kenworthy going to take out this heat number 5. Kenworthy came in with an entry time of 17:53.42. So we'll watch with intent as she comes into the finish. 25 meters to go. There's those red markers that we like to see. She's kicking strongly. She's finishing really, really strongly. As she comes into the wall, I tell you who else is finishing strongly. Georgia Dickey up there from Dumfries. Amy Kenworthy 17:37.22, so well inside that entry time. And Georgia Dickey did in fact finish very strongly. So Kenworthy finished with a 33.88. Dickey finished 34.17 last lap. Oh no, someone's lost their swimming hat. That is always annoying when that happens. And it is lane number 4, Lucy Matthews. It can be really difficult when your equipment fails you. So well done to her for completing the race and not getting too angry. Well, she might be angry. I would be angry. But there's nothing you can do about it. You've just got to keep going. So we move on now to women's 1,500 meters freestyle, heat number 6. So in lane 0, Madison Emmett, Guildford City Swimming Club. In lane 1, Hannah Hodgkiss, Repton Swimming. In lane 2, Alice Forrest, Northumberland and Durham Performance. In lane 3, Charlotte Sorrell, Chase. In lane 4, Liberty Gordon, Rushmore Royals. In lane 5, Jess Wooderson, City of Leeds. In lane 6, Olivia Sheehan, Wigan Best. In lane 7, Evie Clare, Stockport Metro. In lane 9, Alice Young, Guildford City Swimming Club. And in lane 9, it's Annabelle Compton of Wickham District. As we come into this first 100 meters, it looks like down at the bottom of the screen, lane 0 and lane 1 battling it out. It is Hannah Hodgkiss of Repton who gets the feet to the wall first by 0.2 of a second to touch just ahead of Guildford's Madison Emmett. This is heat number 6 of the 1500 meters for women. It's been a while since we've seen a swimmer from the 13-14 age group category, but Alice Forrest in lane 2, swimming for Northumberland and Durham Performance. She is in that category, as is Evie Clare of Stockport Metro in lane 7. So that is the youngest age group category here at these championships. Make it into heat 6. It's a very impressive achievement. We still have one swimmer to come though in the next heat in that age group. So they will be trying to post good times. That will challenge and give Millie Thurfall something to aim for in the next heat. Here we see now people settling into their strokes. City of Leeds, Jess Wooderson will have seen a number of her swimmers, teammates going very well, and will be inspired to do the same. Liberty Gordon of Rushmore Royals, one lane closer to us in that green hat, is the swimmer that currently leads the way. It's a very slender lead though, and still going well down the bottom of the screen is Madison Emmett. We just got touched out on that first 100 meters, but as we've been saying all the way through, on a 1500 meters, you can't really win it in the first 100 meters, but you could potentially lose it. By that we mean you can leave yourself with way too much to do to come back, but actually to win it, it's really about sticking in it for the whole 1500, choosing when to make your break. And there she is, going well. Liberty Gordon, those two yellow lane lines signal that they are the centre of the pool, the fastest lanes in terms of people's entry times. And at the moment it is going to the form guide on the whole. Liberty Gordon, 4 minutes, 0.83, just 2 100s behind Madison Emmett. So while she looked like she was swimming out in front fastest, it was Emmett who got her feet to the wall. And there we see that from that brilliant camera shot, how that race is unfolding. Does make the camera operator's job a bit more difficult, but that is not the swimmer's priority. So it's all about swimming fast and getting to that wall quickest. But Liberty Gordon now back in front for a moment. 35.29 her 50 there compared to 35.44 for Emmett. Jess Wilson trying to go with Liberty Gordon. As we've talked about so much, they've got a side-by-side battle which will help them. Whereas Madison Emmett down there at the bottom of your screen in lane 0, a bit more in her own race. She will be able to see the other swimmers, especially as they've got such bright swimming hats on as we go through. And she turns and she looks, and she can see under the water off the wall, but it's not the same really is having someone next to you, pushing you all the way. We're a third of the race through, and Madison Emmett back in the lead, 34.98 for her there. Only swimmer to dip under the 35-second mark for that 50 meters. And you can also see Widdowson trying to move up onto shoulder in line with Liberty Gordon in that green hat, one lane closer to us. So it's Widdowson at the top of that picture of those two battling it out, and Gordon closest to us, but down at the bottom, still going strong. Lee is Madison Emmett. She turns over first, just over a quarter of a second ahead of Liberty Gordon, who is just over a quarter of a second ahead of Widdowson. So not much to choose between those three athletes at this stage. Nice little battle up the top of the pool there in lanes 7 and 8. That's Evie Clare of Stockport Metro and Alice Young of Guildford City Swimming Club. There they are, they're keeping each other company. Evie Clare there in that Stockport Metro hat, said one of the younger swimmers in this one. She's swimming in the age 13-14 category. That's the swimmer in the purple suit closest to us, and then one lane up from her is Alice Young, teammate at Guildford City of our early race leader, Madison Emmett. As we go back to the action at the front, the one saying that, those two that we were just focusing on are edging their way closer to this action at the front. But it is Emmett over first, 7:33.56, 35.67 for her. Anna Hodgkiss of Repton, who was keeping Emmett company down that first 100 metres. She had a good 50 there, ever so slightly quicker, edging away. She's got company from Alice Forrest, who has company from Charlotte Sorrell. So we say, if you can get yourself in the mix with a group of swimmers, then you can pull each other along. And there we see them there, and that's exactly what's happening. And often you think that the turns don't matter so much on 1500 metres because there's so much swimming to do, but actually turns can be the difference, because a lot of these swimmers have a similar engine, they train similar, they have a similar level of capacity, and it's those finer race skills that can make the difference. But it can come down to hundredths of a second, even in these longer distance events. Now we see Widdowson has gone ahead of Liberty Gordon. There's that battle still happening. That's at the top of the pool. And it looks like Evie Clare just edging ahead of Alice Young, but not enough to breathe too comfortably, because they're being caught by that pack the other side of the pool that we were featuring at the beginning of this 100 metres. And actually, we will see that it is those swimmers down the bottom, Alice Forrest, Hannah Hodgkiss, that have slowly started to overhaul Alice Young. Evie Young making a move though. Evie Clare, sorry, making a move. She doesn't want to be swallowed up by that pack at the bottom of the pool. But now it's Widdowson that leads by a half a second from Madison Emmett out in lane 0. And that green hat of Liberty Gordon for Rushmore Riles is trying to stick with the fighting to stay with them. Jess Widdowson though, City of Leeds swimmer in lane 5, looks to be going very strongly at the moment. She's just put in a length of 35.19. So when we say she looks strong, that's because she is, because Liberty Gordon went 35.83 to turn third and 35.99 for Madison Emmett. So they are still under that sub 36, but Widdowson significantly under. She does look strong. She's attacking here. Opening up. That's the biggest gap that she has had so far during this event, this heat. Bit of breathing space, still not too much, because Madison Emmett still going strong. She's putting a 35.76, so she had the quickest 50 of that pack. But Alice Forrest, 35.44 for the quickest 50-meter lap of the whole field there, and she is leading the charge. You will see them coming now. There you are. That is Alice Forrest leading everybody else, leading the chasers, as Widdowson goes over first. Liberty Gordon trying to pick up the pace. Madison Emmett a bit slower on that one, 36.2 for her 50 there. But once again, Alice Forrest, 35.51. So Forrest is definitely feeling good, feeling like now is the time to make a move. There she is, leading that mini spearhead. Those three athletes not that long ago were in a big line, and she is directly competing against Evie Clare of Stockport Metro up in lane 7, who we can see in that purple suit, just turning now at the top. And at one point Clare had a sizable lead over Forrest, but Forrest is reaping the rewards of wrapping 35 mids for these 50s at the moment. Widdowson over 12:52.64. Madison Emmett in second position, just less than a second ahead of Liberty Gordon. So our front three, still our front three, but not quite as tight as they were in those early stages of the race. As Widdowson goes over again. Emmett next, followed by Forrest, and there comes the challenge of Forrest. Liberty Gordon will be her aim. Currently sitting in third position, the swimmer from Rushmore Royals. That will be where Alice Forrest's target is at the moment. There she is. Liberty Gordon led the race early on. Had her turn at the front of this heat. No question about who's at the front now, though. Definitely Jez Widdowson looking very strong. But her and Liberty Gordon repping similar times, but as is Alice Forrest, so they're not getting away from Alice Forrest. But on that one, they didn't get any closer either. So Forrest is going to have to find something a little bit extra if she wants to bridge that gap and try and get into that third position in this heat. Alice Forrest, they're just jumping over the 36 mark. 36.10 was that 50 split for the lady in your shot there in the red swimsuit. As Widdowson goes over, we can see the swimmers line up, getting ready, getting prepared for heat number 7. But there's still time to be had in heat number 6. 200 meters to go. less than 200 meters to go now. 175 meters to go. If your name is Jess Widdowson, she is heading for home, leading that pack. There she is. Since she hit the front, she's just gone from strength to strength. She comes into the turn. When she hits the wall at the next end, she will hear that bell. 35.78 there for Widdowson. She's definitely trying to fight her way to the front. She does not want to get caught now. She's working hard down these final stages. She'll be delighted to see that number 2, hear that bell. Know that she's got 100 meters to go. Madison Emmett not a million miles behind. Just there, slow into a 36.48. Emmett 0.3 quicker, so bridge the gap, but the gap is big enough that Jess Widdowson will hope that she's done enough. As will Liberty Gordon. And once again, reminder that these swimmers are not all competing in the same age group. So this race is for time, and they will be sorted out into their relevant age groups. But it's always nice to fight for position within your heat as well. Woodson over first. 35.01 her split there. Emmett in second. Liberty Gordon third position. Alice Forrest just smashed out a 34.48. 50 there. She definitely hasn't given up. She might just run out of pool with 15 meters to go. But there is your winner of this heat, Jess Widdowson. Madison Emmett securing that second place touch. Liberty Gordon third, and then Alice Forrest winning the battle of the 14-year-olds there. 17:45.13 for her, ahead of Evie Claire, 17:49.15. Evie Claire did finish very quickly though, half a second quicker down that final 50 than Alice Forrest, but Alice Forrest had done plenty of good work in the middle section of the race. So we will get ready for heat number 7. There is your start list for heat number 7. So heat number 7 seems in lane 0, Ella Bloxage, City of Salford. In lane 1, Molly Fisher, Rotherham Metro. In lane 2, it's Eleanor Kay of Bolton Metro. In lane 3, Chloe Goodridge, Northampton Swimming Club. In lane 4, Millie Threffel, City of Leeds. In lane 5, Molly Baker, City of Sheffield. In lane 6, Laura Hodgson, Newcastle Swim Team. In lane 7, Nicole Ryan, Guildford City Swimming Club. In lane 8, Georgia Robertson, City of Sheffield. In lane 9, Talia Staines, Team Luton Swimming. So as we go through the first 100 meters, it's Nicole Ryan of Guildford City Swimming Club who leads the way. You can see the swimmers behind her settling in to their race. We've headed back to the top of the pool. for our early breakaway. That's not to say that that's where the action will all come from, or this is what it will look like at the end of the race, but it has become a familiar sight. We've seen a lot of races unfold from that top half of the pool. As we come into the turn for the first 200 metres. Nicole Ryan, Guildford City Swimming Club, leads the way to 11.92. Laura Hodgson there, one lane closer to us for Newcastle swim team. Going well, as one will say it again, there's a range of age groups racing in this one, so just so that you are aware, the youngest in this race is Millie Threlfall, City of Leeds in lane 4. She's in the 13 to 14 age group, and she is racing against the times that were set in that last heat that we saw from Alice Forrest and Evie Clare. She's made it into Heat 7. We saw this in the men's event. Some of the younger swimmers making it into the later heats. And there is Millie Threlfall. And City of Leeds had a number of competitors in this one. Still going very well at the front. It is Nicole Ryan. She turns 3:56.06, 34.99. But Laura Hodgson, one lane closer to us, just out of shot. Went a little bit quicker, 0.25 of a second quicker, and it all counts. So she's eating into that lead, if she can keep up that pace. They are taking Georgia Robertson with them, the home swimmer from City of Sheffield. Laura Hodgson and Georgia Robertson both swimming in the 18 plus category. As is Nicole Ryan. So those three are in a straight shootout. Nicole Ryan still at the front. But Laura Hodgson still eating into the lead, not by as much that time. Just 0.08 of a second quicker than Nicole Ryan, but it all adds up over the course of the race. And then there's a spread behind them. As we can see the challenge from the rest, no one really showing all their cards at this stage. Nicole Ryan, again, still holding on to the lead, but Laura Hodgson is eating into it. It's a second and a half, so it's still a sizable lead. But if this continues, then Hodgson will fancy her chances. She can sense the feet now. When she breathes to that left-hand side, she'll be able to see and feel the kick coming off Ryan as they go into this turn. And again, 0.2 of a second quicker there on the 50 for Hodgson than Ryan. So Ryan holds on to the lead, but it will give Hodgson hope. That red hat there of Georgia Robertson just behind. She'll be wanting to hold on to this battle as well. As her teammate Molly Baker more towards the centre of the pool there, you can see her, the red hat. The other red hat of Sheffield is clawing her way back. And then it is Millie Thruffle, the youngster from the city of Leeds, who's trying to remain in contention as well. Right at the top, it's Talia Staines, Team Luton, swimming, having a good swim as well, as she just gets overhauled by young Thruffle. All eyes on the end of the pool here. We can see Hodgson no more chipping away a little bit at a time. She took out a big chunk there, but it swam well. Almost 0.9 of a second she took out there of Nicole Ryan, which is why she now finds herself back on level terms and maybe even hitting the front. It'll all be about who gets around this wall most quickly on the turn. So they go in together, and it is Laura Hodgson who hits the front. 8:03.53, almost 0.2 of a second ahead of Nicole Ryan. She was 0.6 of a second quicker on that 50, and that's what's given her that advantage. As we also see Molly Baker overhaul her teammate, Georgia Robertson. So there's been a bit of a change of positions. Not to be unexpected in this 1500, but there you can see. And it's also coming through strongly is that yellow hat of Millie Thruffle, City of Leeds swimmer in lane 4. As she goes past Georgia Robertson as well. Georgia Robertson will be trying to hold on, trying to swim her own race, because she's getting attacked now from the top of the pool. Talia Staines, Team Luton swimmer, out on the outside lane in lane 9, who we'll see shortly coming into shot. But at the moment we're looking to see as Hodgson holds on to that lead that she has managed to achieve. But it's Molly Baker at the moment who is producing the quickest splits on these 50s. 35.05 that was for Molly Baker. She looks to have found her groove, and there is that battle at the top of the pool. Talia Staines starting to come in line now with Georgia Robertson. She might make it by the end of this 50, or she might need 50 more meters, but as we watch Hodgson at the front open up her lead over Nicole Ryan, repping about half a second quicker at the moment is Hodgson compared to Ryan. But there we see, we just got a glimpse there of Talia Staines getting that advantage over Georgia Robertson. But now it's Molly Baker that has got her eyes on the prize of reeling Nicole Ryan in. Looks like she's going strongly. And then as we watch this turn, we can see right down at the bottom, Ella Bloxage, City of Salford in lane 0, going very well as well. So there's a lot of action happening from different parts of the pool at the moment. It might not look like there's any major threats, but everyone's working very hard to chip away at the lead of the people that are in front of her. But that is the lady at the moment. There is the swimmer who seems to be making the biggest gains right now. Laura Hodgson over first, and it is Molly Baker once again. 35.37 for her, but Millie Thruffle, she doesn't want to be left out either. She's just put in a 34.93 split, so that will do her good favours in terms of edging closer to these front three. There is Molly Baker though, that great shot of those three athletes chasing. At the moment Laura Hodgson is away with it for now, But Molly Baker in the red hat, in the middle of those three chasing, is the swimmer who is swimming quite speedily. But as mentioned, Millie Threlfall does not want to be dropped, and she is up the pace. So whilst she's letting Molly Baker do most of the work in catching Nicole Ryan, but Millie Threlfall is going with her. So Hodgson's over first. 35.52 her split. 35.35 for Molly Baker as she hits second position. 35.20 for Millie Threlfall, who's currently still in fourth position. But she won't have ruled out in her head catching that second, third position, as Nicole Ryan fights to stay with Molly Baker and not let her get away. Nicole Ryan definitely up the pace there, dipped back under the 36-second mark for a 50. But it is Millie Threlfall at the moment who's the speed is with, 35.36 for her for the fastest 50. But Ella Bloxage has settled into the 35 high sections of the 50-meter reps as well. So everybody making strides forward. But they're all chasing Laura Hodgson, and that's going to be difficult because she repped 35.30 there for that 50. Here comes that yellow hat of Millie Threlfall. There is your race leader, Laura Hodgson, as a blanket starts to develop behind her. She's out to safety for now. .35.58 was her split there. Laura Hodgson to remain in the lead. Exactly the same split as Millie Threlfall. So while that advantage has not been lost, Molly Baker's has slightly, because she was a fraction slower than Millie Threlfall, as was Nicole Ryan. So this is an exciting battle. Molly Baker trying to stay ahead of that fight for third position. And she did there, she put in a slightly, just 5/100ths quicker than Millie Threlfall there. And that was the length where Nicole Ryan saw Threlfall come up onto her shoulder. And it does seem to be that Threlfall at the moment is carrying the most speed of these three. Has Molly Baker got a response as Hodgson goes over once again? There's 200 meters left for these swimmers now. Threlfall's had an excellent latter half of the race. There you see Molly Baker, that red hat being pushed all the way. Both of those have overhauled Nicole Ryan, who was our early race leader, but no doubt about the leader now. Laura Hodgson, when she hit the front, she didn't just settle, she continued to push on, gain that advantage, and she will be rewarded with the sound of the bell as she comes into this 100-meter turn for the final time. So Hodgson there still holding 35.5. Baker over in second. Threlfall now in third position. with Nicole Ryan chasing that. She's in fourth. Has she got anything left? Has she got any speed that can bring her on level terms? Can Threlfall find the speed to overcome Baker in these final 75 meters? As Hodgson turns, final 50 for her. She's away. No one's catching her now. Question is, what has Threlfall left? What has Ryan got left? Has Baker done enough? Laura Hodgson came in with an entry time for this one, 17:39.56. Nicole Ryan does look like she's found a spurt for the challenge at the back, but Hodgson will take this heat out 17:28 flat. It's going to be a sprint finish. Nicole Ryan is rewarded by 1/100th of a second ahead of Molly Baker, and then Millie Threlfall gets that fourth place touch with Ella Bloxage swimming her own race down in lane 0 to get 5th position in this heat. Just a reminder, it's a heat declared winner, so all results will be collated at the end and reassigned to the correct age groups, and then we will have our medalists, our results and our presentations. Just rounding out now, it's Chloe Goodridge of Northampton Swimming Club to complete heat number 7. Here are your swimmers for heat number 8. In lane 0, it's Fiona Burns, City of Liverpool. In lane 1, it's Mary Craig, Edinburgh University. In lane 2, Ava Cook, City of Sheffield Swim Squad. In lane 3, Evangeline Belt, Plymouth Leander. In lane 4, Phoebe Arbuckle, Warren de Baths. In lane 5, Katie Lee, City of Salford. In lane 6, Olivia Kingsland, Nova Centurion. In lane 7, Lucy Parsons, City of Liverpool. In lane 8, Jessica Arundale, Bonnet Copthall. And in lane 9, Sala Bernalt of Bonnet Copthall. So at the moment we see a perfect spearhead coming from those centre lanes. Being led out by lane 3 though, rather than lane 4. As I say that, they all come as blanket into the wall. And the touch goes to Evangeline Belt, Plymouth Leander, that early stage. 104.21, opening up the second 50 there at 33.85. Phoebe Arbuckle, strong second 50 there, 34.25 as they settle into the race. So we just see swimmers from the previous heat exiting the pool side. Arbuckle hits the front. The 15-year-old from Warren de Baths in that red hat. But she's taking Belt with her, who's taking Ava Cook with her. And one lane up in the middle of the pool, Katie Lee of City of Salford also going with that early blanket. Craig of Edinburgh University does not want to be dropped from the party either, but it is Arbuckle who leads at the 200-metre turn. 2:12.01 for her. 33.81 per split. Only swimmer in the field to go under that 34-second mark down that 50 metres. Again, there are 5 age groups competing at this championships. So we have seen all the competitors that will compete in this event in the 13-14 age group. We do have some swimmers from the 15 years age group in this one. Ava Cook in lane 2, Phoebe Arbuckle, our race leader, in lane 4, Katie Lee in lane 5. So they are in a direct race with each other. Then we have Lucy Parsons, City of Liverpool, in lane 7. She's swimming in the 16-year category. Sasla Bernholt and Evangeline Belt are competing against each other in the 17 years age group category. And then the remaining swimmers are in the 18 years plus category. But there is your race leader, Arbuckle from Warrington Baths. Ava Cook trying to forge ahead of the rest. Slight advantage over the chasing pack. Edinburgh's Craig going with her. But it is Arbuckle. 34.27. We are into the 34s. Most athletes in those centre lanes putting in those 34-second 50s. As we come into the 400-metre turn, Arbuckle still leading the way. Ava Cook, though, a quick 50 from her. She has the honours down that 50 metres as she edges her way closer to Phoebe Arbuckle's shoulders to be in line with her there. But Mari Craig of Edinburgh University is trying to go with the challenge of Ava Cook. And it is now those three. They've got ever so slightly some water between them and the rest of the field. The turns there, we talked about the turns being important earlier. We could see just how much of a gap those turns opened up. There is now clear water between the front three and the chasing two. That's not to say that they can't get back on track. That's not to say that Katie Lee can't get back on level terms with our three front runners. It is still Phoebe Arbuckle leading the way as Craig and Cook push themselves on to reel her in. 20 lengths left to go. Well, 19 and a half lengths left to go for these swimmers. Craig with the fastest 50 of the three at the front. 34.46 there for Craig. Looks like Arbuckle might have been reeled in here. Who's going to get their feet to the wall? It is still Phoebe Arbuckle. Good turn there from her. She went into the wall second, but got her feet onto the wall first. But it is a very slender lead now that she has. She's definitely got company. Arbuckle there, just 0.2 of a second quicker on that 50 than Ava Cook. And Mary Craig splitting the two in terms of pace on that 50. But Cook managing to hold on to that second position for now. As we see once again that familiar sight of Cook going shoulder to shoulder, lining up. The red hats are in line as they enter the wall for the turn. But still it's Arbuckle that rotates and gets her feet to the wall first and comes up with a slender lead. And then Cook puts the work in down the swim. Some interesting races behind. So Katie Lee of City of Salford going well. And at the top of the pool, we've seen a lot of the front end of the action coming from there. But now there's Cook, who's currently in 4th position. But you can see this company from the top end of the pool. Lucy Parsons, City of Liverpool, Jessica Arndale, Barnett Copdale, and her teammate Sala Bernholt, also of Barnett Copdale, occupying those top lanes. That's 7, 8, and 9. And then Livia Kingsland, the green hat of Nova Centurion. We've seen some Nova swimmers be wearing black hats, but that green is what is a bit more recognisable historically with the Nova squad. There and isn't again. There's a battle there. No one would like to call that from here, but yeah, you can see those swimmers entering the run race. They're slowly on a charge to reel in Katie Lee, who looked like she'd put clear water between her and the chasing pack. That is not to be. There you can see from that shot as the front runners, Ava Cook and Phoebe Arbuckle, start to shake off Mari Craig a little bit. Katie Lee now, City of Salford, getting caught by that chase. So it's all open for 3rd position, well, 4th position at the moment, as they carry that speed through and try to reel in Craig of Edinburgh University. And is this going to be the time? Is this going to be the turn where Cook hits the front of the pack? Still no, still Phoebe Arbuckle. They go into the wall, and Cook looks like she's got the advantage, but then Arbuckle rotates round the wall more quickly. Just 6/100ths of a second separating the two athletes with the red swimming hats. Different teams. Arbuckle swimming for Warren Baths. Cook swimming for the City of Sheffield. She's in her home pool here, working hard. And now Ava Cook hits the front. She put in a 34.49 second lap there compared to Phoebe Arbuckle's 34.72. That is what finally made the difference for Ava Cook. But Phoebe Arbuckle is not going to give up the lead too easily. And as I say that, Arbuckle looks like she tried to up her stroke rate, turn those arms over more quickly to get back on level terms with Ava Cook. Cook holding on slenderly, just 8/100ths of a second. There is Cook, your new race leader. As Lucy Parsons, there's lots of red hats here making their moves. Ava Cook has made a move to reel in Phoebe Arbuckle. But at the top of the pool there, you can see another red hat. City of Liverpool, Lucy Parsons, making her move as she comes up. She's got Mari Craig of Edinburgh University in her sights. Mari Craig holding on to the 3rd position for now and actually getting the better of the turns. But there is the challenger from Liverpool, Lucy Parsons, the 16-year-old. 34.62 she went then on that last 50, so we'll keep an eye on that as she looks to be coming up level with Mari Craig, but the angle can be deceiving. As we see now, Arbuckle go back into the lead. A bit of cat and mouse here on this 1500 meters heat number 8. Our penultimate heat, there's only one more to come after this one. And there you can see Avia Kingsland, Nova Centurion, the green hat. She's overhauled Katie Lee of City of Salford, who led that chasing pack for so long. But now it looks to be that Lucy Parsons will have turned in 3rd position. She has managed to overhaul Craig of Edinburgh University. And there we see the action at the top of the pool. That is Parsons and that Kingsland. And there comes Lee back into shot, so she's trying to get back in front of Kingsland. So that's a good little fight happening for those swimmers that will lead them to a quick time, because then you will see, as we watch our race leaders, now Cook's back in the lead by 0.2 of a second. You will see that actually they are bringing Evangeline Belt of Plymouth Leander with them on this charge, as Parsons and Kingsland try to make their move, and Lee all make their move. Parsons is looking good in 3rd position at the moment, but here there is nothing to choose between these two swimmers. As they go into the wall together at the front of the race, and it is Arbuckle who gets her feet to the wall, Cook just behind. Cook working hard to try and make the difference in the swim, because it does seem to be that when they go into the wall, that's where Phoebe Arbuckle gets her advantage. Parsons of Liverpool is in a clear 3rd position at the moment, with Craig of Edinburgh University holding on to 4th. Cook's back in the lead, 4/100ths in it that time. At the turn, this is turning into a very exciting battle indeed. But there is Lucy Parsons, City of Liverpool. She put in a strong spurt. She broke the field, and now she is leading the rest. She's inspired the rest on her side of the pool to start trying to plough their way through the field. Phoebe Arbuckle looks to have regained the advantage. Yes, she has. 34.43 there for Arbuckle compared to 34.86 for Ava Cook. There's not a lot in this. No one really wants to call this as we come into the final stages of the race. With 100 meters to go, we will hear the bell in just a second. Right on cue, there it is. Now it is just head down and sprint. This final 100 meters. Not always easy for 1500 meter freestylers, but it's all relative. So whatever you've got left, it goes into the burners, into the legs, and you kick your legs, you head for home. Up that stroke rate. Fight your way through. This is definitely where the excitement and the action is, but there's fights all over the pool here. Battles, I should say. They're not fighting, they're battling. As Arbuckle comes into the turn first. Ava Cook over second. Where's it gonna go? But Kingsland is also chasing Craig behind, but we'll get that action in a little minute. We've got this one to watch finish up first as we head to the final 15 meters of what has been an exciting 1500 meters. These two swimmers have kept each other company all the way, and it really is going to come down to the final touch. And it looks to me that Phoebe Arbuckle just gets that one. 17:08.93 for her. Ava Cook 17:09.12. Nothing to separate those two swimmers on that last 50 meters. 1/100th in fact, so really not a lot. And it was Livia Kingsland that finished well for Nova Centurion to just pip University of Edinburgh University's Mary Craig. But Lucy Parsons getting that third place in this heat, of course. It is heat declared winner. There's one more heat to go, so the results will be confirmed at the end of this next heat. And this is your final heat, heat number 9 of the women's 1500 meters freestyle. So in lane 0, we've got Ruby Griffiths of Mount Kelly Swimming. In lane 1, Abby Roscoe, Wirral Metro. In lane 2, Alice Deering, Loughborough University. In lane 3, Leah Crisp, Bath Performance Centre. In lane 4, it's Fleur Lewis of Loughborough University. In lane 5, Lucy Hanquay, Loughborough University. In lane 6, Lucy Fox, Wickham District. In lane 7, Anya Priest of Nova Centurion. In lane 8, Grace Cummings, Thanet Swim Club. And in lane 9, Kate Cotter, Chelmsford City. This is as close to a blanket as you're going to get across the pool. Nothing to separate these swimmers really as we go down this first 100 meters. As we go over that first 100, it is Leah Crisp who leads the way. In tie with Alice Deering, 103.97. Leah Crisp with the quicker second. 50 of that first 100 meters, but a long, long way to go in this one. Leah Crisp getting the advantage, slither of a lead over Alice Deering there, just 11/100 of a second. They're actually split by Lucy Hanquay in lane 5. So really nothing to call at this early stage of the race. Nobody letting anyone get away. Lucy Hanquay now into the lead by 1/100 of a second from Leah Crisp, and only 0.2 of a second ahead of Fleur Lewis. Lucy Fox in that green hat of Wickham District, also going with these early race leaders. A pack of 5 forming as they put some water between them and the rest of the field. There is Lucy Fox. She had a good turn there, got us back on fairly level terms with the rest of the bunch that are out in front. As we see the pool starting to spread a bit, but nothing to choose between these front 3, who are very closely flanked by 2 more swimmers. So Lucy Hanquay still holding on to that lead. Only 0.12 of a second ahead of Leah Crisp. So Leah Crisp is closest to us in that shot of the 3 out in front, in that red hat. Then Fleur Lewis, and then Lucy Hanquay, 2 Loughborough swimmers occupying the yellow lanes. As I said, Fox not letting them get away. And Alice Deering also trying to stick with them. The open water Olympian, 1500 meters. Shorter distance for her. There we just see at the bottom of the pool, Ruby Griffiths, Mount Kelly, and Abby Roscoe, who swims in the age 13 to 14 category, so she's the youngest in this one. The next youngest swimmer is Kate Cotter in lane 9 at the top of the screen. She's 16. So we've seen some impressive swims in the youngest category for women's events, the 13 to 14, and it is Abby Roscoe in lane 1 that will be looking to finish on top of those. Right there up there, that is lane number 9. That's Kate Cotter of Chelmsford City. She's swimming in the 16 years age group. She's got a good battle going on with Grace Cummings, one lane closer to us. And they're in a tight battle with Ruby Griffiths, who's down the other end of the pool. So the bookend lanes battling it out at the moment, but there is definitely still a battle in this centre of the pool. Lucy Hanquay still with the advantage, but still not by much. Lucy Fox in that green hat of Wickham doing her best to hold on to this fight at the front. Alice Deering now of Loughborough in that lane 2, closest to us of those swimmers, just slightly losing touch with the early battle that is unfolding. And Kate Cotter seemed, we just got a glimpse there. We've been focusing on that race at the top, and it just seemed that Cotter has opened up that gap ahead of Grace Cummings, who she was in a tight battle with. In fact, it's almost 2 seconds. So there we go. There is Alice Deering, as I said, the Tokyo 2021 Olympian. There is that race, and Hanquay now looks like she's got a slender advantage. I mean, it's half a body length, but that is neither here nor there until the end of the race. If it's still that at the end of the race, you take it. But in this mid-section of the race, you want a bit more breathing space than half a body length. The two Loughborough swimmers, 1 and 2, Lucy Hanquay, Fleur Lewis, and then Leah Crisp, just in third position. Not even a quarter of a second behind Fleur Lewis. And Lucy Fox not letting them drop her either, so still a long way to go in this one. It's the final heat, heat number 9. That will see the action for today concluded. Still 6 more days of competition though, so make sure you come back. There is, as I mentioned, the three front runners, and Leah Crisp is closest to us in that red hat for Bath Performance Centre. Now they seem to have opened up a bit of a gap from Lucy Fox of Wickham District, who's solidly in 4th at this point. All of these swimmers in the same age group. Lucy Fox swimming in the 17 years category, so she's not directly competing with the 3 athletes ahead of her, but she would be looking to stick with them. Hanquay is over first, 33.15. But then Fleur Lewis put in a 33.01 for the fastest 50 of that lap from the field. 14 laps to go for these swimmers that have already turned. They're working hard to try and put water between each of them. And now we have got about a body length lead from first to second to third. Lucy Fox still going well, the Wickham swimmer. And there we see Alice Deering turning in 5th position at this stage. At the top there, it's Anya Priest, Nova Centurion, up in lane 7. We can see a considerably higher stroke rate from these swimmers than we've seen in some of the earlier heats. The older, stronger swimmers. More power to move through the water at that higher stroke rate. There is Anya Priest turning, so she will have 12 laps to go. Back to the front of the race, and it is Lucy Hankwe still leading the way, just over a second advantage now over Fleur Lewis, who has just under 2 seconds advantage over Leah Crisp. So there is definitely space opening up. Hankwe is dragging her teammate with her. The two Loughborough swimmers have broken away from Crisp of Bath Performance. Hankwe just put in a 32.89 50-meter split there. The only swimmer to go under the 33-second mark. Fleur Lewis working hard not to let Hankwe get too far away. Both of these swimmers 20 years of age. So there we go. We haven't seen much of a change in positions since that early close-fought battle in the first stage of the race. Hankwe still fighting to hold on to that first position. She's got a lead, but she won't want to rest up too much. And Lewis over for second. Crisp is in 3rd position. Lucy Fox of Wickham going well in 4th position. And Alice Deering of Loughborough, also of Loughborough University, in a solid 5th position. Seven laps to go for these swimmers as they turn here. Fleur Lewis did actually swim 0.2 quicker down that 50 meters than Lucy Hankwe, but Lucy Hankwe has got more of an advantage than that, so she'll have to keep chipping away. She'll have to find a bit more speed if she wants to try and get back on terms with her clubmate Hankwe, Will Fleur Lewis. But that battle between the two front runners really has seen Leah Crisp get dropped into a solid 3rd position, as we see Alice Deering going through the shot now. And Anya Priest of Nova Centurion at the top of the picture. She's going one way, as our race leaders are going the other way. And as I said, with 6 laps to go, well, 5.5 laps to go, Fleur Lewis is not going to give up on this. She's fighting hard. She did take just over 0.15 of a second off of her clubmate there, but it's going to take a little bit more than that. because when we hit this turn, there'll only be 200 meters remaining. Fleur Lewis, though, definitely, you can see the intent. And she is working her way back. She started at the feet of Han Kui. She's now at the waist, but the turn, 32.96 for Han Kui, 32.79 Fleur Lewis. So she is eating into that lead. As we saw on the last 50 meters. But has she got enough pool left? No doubt that these two swimmers have pushed each other all the way. When they get down to the bottom end of this 50 meters, they will hear the bell. All of these swimmers will hear the bell. That will be the last time that we hear the bell in this session, because this is the final heat of 9 in this women's 1500 meters. And the action is not over yet. Lewis is definitely making ground as we come to the bell. They go over. 32.94 was Han Kui's 50, 32.61 for Lewis. Just over 0.7 of a second separating them at that final 100 meters turn. Now it is head down, kick for home. Has Han Kui got enough left? Has Lewis got any more to give? Well, Lewis taking another 0.2 out of Han Kui. They're on their final 25 meters. Breathing towards each other. Han Kui fighting really hard. Lewis with a little spurt at the end there. It is going to come down to the wire, and it will go to Lucy Han Kui. 16:29.42. 16:29.87 for Fleur Lewis. She did finish quickly, but there was just not enough pool left as she started to eat into her clubmates' lead, with Leah Crisp there coming in 16:44.18. Lucy Fox, 16:49.64. She came in with an entry time of 17 minutes, so always good to drop under a big mark like 17 minutes, whether it's a personal best or not. It's still always good to get under those big barriers. There we can see Kate Cotter, the only swimmer in this one in the 16 years age group. Chelmsford City swimmer at the top of your picture there. Just coming into the final 10 meters of her race. She's going to get touched out by bottom of the pool, Ruby Griffiths, Mount Kelly swimming. She's swimming in the 17 years category, so they're not racing each other directly, but they were for a bit of pride. And that rounds out our first women's event of these championships. There are your race winners who provided us with entertainment throughout that 1500. As I said, that concludes the action for today. For the session, we will have medal ceremonies shortly. The results have to be separated into age groups now that the heats have all concluded. So there will be a little wait for that. Medal ceremonies will commence shortly. There will be 2 rounds of medal ceremonies. So in the first ceremony, you will get your medalists for the 13-14 year age group, 15-year age group and 16-year age group. And in the second ceremony, you will get your medalists for the 17 years age group and the 18 plus age group.
So all the results are now in, and we can do the medal presentations as we can. So please, all medalists, if you can go down to the marshalling area for medals at the far end of the pool. The pool room down there. If you can get there as quickly as possible, we will present the medals for this afternoon's 1500 metres as quickly as we can.
So here are the medal ceremonies. As for the women's 1500 metres freestyle, this is the first one. So it'll be age groups 13, 14, 15 and 16. So bronze medalist in the 13, 14 age group will be Alice Forrest of Northumberland and Durham Performance Squad. From the City of Salford, your bronze medalist in the 15-year age group is Katie Lee of City of Salford. And in the 16-year age group, your bronze medalist is Molly Baker of the City of Sheffield. Now on to your silver medalists in the 13-14 years age group. It's Abby Roscoe of Wirral Metro. In the 15-year age group, from the city of Sheffield, it's Ava Cook. And in the 16-year age group, from Chelmsford, it's Kate Cotter. They are your silver medalists. And now on to your gold medalists in the 13-14 year age group. From the city of Leeds, it's Millie Thruffle. Your gold medalist in the 15 years age group is Phoebe Arbuckle from Warren de Baths. And in the 16-year age group, representing City of Liverpool, it's Lucy Parsons. They are your women's 1500 meters freestyle medalists in the 13-14 years age group, 15 years age group, and 16 years age group. So the medalists just getting their photos taken in their age groups. Now for our final medal ceremony of today, women's 1500 meters freestyle, 17 years age group and 18 years and over age group.
The 17-year-old age group, bronze medalist Mount Kelly, Ruby Griffiths.
Your bronze medalist in the 17 years age group from Mount Kelly is Ruby Griffiths. And in the 18 years and over age group from Bath Performance Centre, it's Leah Crisp. They are your bronze medalists. Your silver medalists in the 17 years age group from Plymouth Leander is Evangeline Belt. And that is not Fleur Lewis of Loughborough University. That is your gold medalist in the 17-year age group, Lucy Fox of Wickham District. So your silver medalist in the 18-year over age group would have been Fleur Lewis of Loughborough University. And your gold medalist is Lucy Hancray of Loughborough University. So that concludes your first day of action. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:30 for day 2 of the heats, where we will see the men's 200 meters freestyle, our first multi-class events, 200 freestyle men and women, women's 400 meters freestyle, men's 100 meters breaststroke, women's multi-class 400 meters freestyle and men's multi-class 400 meters freestyle, then the women's 50 breaststroke, the men's 50 backstroke, and then the men's multi-class 150 meters individual medley, an event unique to the Paris swimming program. Once again, thank you very much for joining us on day 1. We'll be back here in Ponds Forge tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. for day 2 of the heats.
The women's 400 meter sprint, men's 100 meter breast, women's and men's multi-classification, 400 meter freestyle, 50 meter breaststroke for women, 50 meter breaststroke for men, and some 150 IS for the multi-classification as well. So fantastic day to look forward to tomorrow. Thank you for coming along and supporting today, and we will see you in the morning.
Feeling that cost of living crunch? Labara are here to help.
All I want is great customer service and network, but for less.
That's why Labara gives you 15 gigabytes of 5G data and unlimited UK minutes and text for just £10 a month. Plus, no contract, change or cancel anytime.
An excellent customer service.
So what's stopping you joining the bill-busting revolution? Labara. More for less.
Half is fake, but everybody's singing along. It's okay, we'll all soon be gone. Hey!